Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence, bringing you the latest news, rumors, and discussion on the Nintendo NX. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. So I literally had an epiphany the other day, and I was thinking about how Nintendo will not be going to E3 with the Nintendo NX, and how they're only going to be focusing on the Legend of Zelda Wii U. I think it's a good idea that Nintendo is not showing the Nintendo NX at this year's E3. Now, there's always two sides to it. I still feel that if the content was ready, they should definitely show it. But there's another side that I wanted to talk about, and that's what I said I had the epiphany, just kind of just popped into my head. If you go back to the Nintendo Wii U, it really seems like Nintendo is trying to avoid every single possible thing that made that console, the Wii U, a failure. Whether it was the early launch, or not early launch, but whether it was the launch when the content wasn't ready, or it was just the type of content that was coming out. There wasn't really any games carried over, at least held over from the Wii to the Wii U in order to bolster the launch lineup, where it seems like we're getting stuff like The Legend of Zelda, and we're going to be getting Smash Bros. And other games on Nintendo NX. It seems like Nintendo is trying to eliminate every single mistake that they made with the Wii U. Now, if you look at the Wii U when it was first unveiled, they showed it off in 2011, and the media absolutely massacred it. The media and gamers. It was both. It wasn't just the media. A lot of people like to say, oh, it's just the media. No, it was gamers and the media. Whether the hard drive wasn't sufficient, the graphics weren't good enough, didn't see enough of a leap, Nintendo wasn't showing off the type of games, whatever the case was, the media, gamers massacred it for a year and a half till the system launched. It was almost dead on arrival because the only people that went out there and bought the system were hardcore Nintendo fans. And other people who had been hearing all of the bad things for a year and a half said, I'm gonna wait, or I'm not gonna buy that. And that pretty much carried out throughout the whole generation for Nintendo. The system never picked up sales, and the only people who did go out and buy it were generally people who were just waiting for a Mario Kart, or waiting for a Smash Bros, or waiting for a game that Nintendo had already announced or they knew was coming. And it's unfortunate, that happened, but in order for Nintendo to make sure that the NX doesn't follow the same fate, PR and when it's unveiled, when the system is actually shown off, and the distance between when it's showed off and when it launches is very important. It's very important. I've said over and over, Nintendo does not need to show off this system freaking a year or two in advance before it launches. They don't need to show off the system for 2 E3s like they did with the Wii U. Let's say they showed off at E3, and let's say third-party games still aren't ready, because it looks like third-party games aren't ready. All you're going to hear is, oh, this game wasn't announced for NX. This third-party game wasn't announced for NX. This third-party game wasn't announced for NX. Whereas this third-party game at NX, and it's going to be the same thing. You're going to hear the stories. There was no third-party games. The Nintendo NX isn't going to have the third-party support. You're going to hear the same stuff that you heard with the Wii U. It's better off if Nintendo just doesn't show it, don't worry about it, and then when they have their own event, they can show off the third-party games that are ready, they can show off their games and have a better impact, instead of going to E3 and saying, oh, we have this unprecedented partnership, never freaking comes to fruition, and all the games that you thought that were going to be good on the system as far as third-party games end up performing not so good. So Nintendo definitely wants to avoid the whole unprecedented partnership and the issues that plagued the Wii U throughout the whole time that it was out. And if Nintendo did show off the NX at this year's E3 and there was multiple third-party games that just weren't ready, you're going to see the stories, you're going to see the people already writing the system off, which people are already doing, but it's even going to be worse. You're going to see all of the articles. So it's best just for Nintendo to leave it alone, because E3, probably in Nintendo's terms, is not worth it. It's not worth the bad PR if the show isn't amazing or could potentially affect sales in a negative way. So it's just best off if Nintendo just waits till everything is ready, then show off the system. It can be 4 to 5 months before the system actually launches. It doesn't have to be a year ahead of time or 2 years ahead of time. It doesn't need any of that. They can just show it off when it's ready, when it has the content, and people will be fine with that. And just as long as it has the third-party support and it has the online, because a lot of Nintendo fans don't take online very seriously, and if this system doesn't have online on par with Microsoft and Sony, the Nintendo NX is definitely going to have issues selling, because that's what people want. If you want a large-scale fan base to pick up your system, you're going to need amazing online play. But I'm hoping and I'm thinking that Nintendo's smart enough to realize this, especially after the failure of the Wii U. Alright guys, so that basically wraps it up for this video here. Make sure you hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And also subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything on the Nintendo NX. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.